Now, from the Bay Area's local news station, you're watching the KRON 4 Morning News at 9.
Good morning. Welcome back. If you've been working out at home for the past few months, you probably are overjoyed to learn your gym is going to be soon reopening its doors. Now, if you're eager to head back to the gym and put away all the home exercise equipment or just get off the couch, you must be wondering if it's safe to go back to the weight room, the cardio machines, and the fitness classes. Well, that's the topic today for our health expert, Karen Nowak. She's here to help us decide about if it's safe to go back. So, Karen, generally speaking, is it going to be safe to go back to the gym?
Well, bottom line is it will be riskier to go to the gym versus staying at home.
Yep.
But there's also a risk at being, from being a COVID potato. so you have to kind of take all those things into consideration.
Yeah. You know, Karen, a lot of folks are wondering, and I've seen this online so many times, asking, can I get COVID-19 from perspiration, from sweat?
You cannot get it from sweat. However, when your sweat mixes with some of the mucus droplets, then you can get it through that sweat.
Oh, okay.
Now, and the thing is, when you exercise, I don't know if you're aware that there's what's called exercise-induced rhinitis or runner's rhinitis, that when you exercise, it causes your nose to run. And up to 74% of athletes have this type of rhinitis.
And you know, Karen, I would guess that it's worse now because so many people are dealing with hay fever and allergies right now.
Correct. So if you are a sweater and it's mixing with those mucus droplets, then you're going to have to be careful about decontaminating your equipment, but also be aware of the other people too.
So that's where wearing a mask comes in, right?
Well, they are going to be asking you to wear a mask. But when you are wearing a mask and you're doing a lot of heavy breathing, all that exhaled moisture is going to make that mask very wet.
Yes.
And when it's wet, it's not going to be efficient at filtering out the pathogens.
Oh, man. So now what do we do?
Yeah, so and it's going to be uncomfortable. You're running on a treadmill or whatever it is you're doing, and you have this mask on. Well, you may have to bring some extra ones. Make sure you discard it once it's wet and then put on a new one. Okay.
All right. So we're going to have to maybe invest in some more masks when we head to the gym.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, let's get back to the perspiration and the sweat issues, because so many times, even before COVID-19, it's just gross to go to a machine where somebody has been sweating and didn't wipe it down.
Right. And I'm hoping that the gyms the staff, they're going to be very diligent about, observing that, making sure that people clean their equipment before as well as after. You can't trust the person before you that they're going to clean it as efficiently. So you're going to have to take that into account. Disinfect it before and disinfect it after.
It really does come down to you policing yourself, doesn't it?
It does. And it's really difficult to clean equipment because there are so many nooks and crannies and knobs, and people hold the weights differently than others. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah. Your hour at the gym could become an hour and a half or 2 hours just because you have to wipe everything down and you're worried about other people moving in and out.
Yes, and I don't know if you've read the directions on these type of disinfectants.
Oh, you found some.
Oh, yeah, exactly. and for example, the sprays.
Yeah.
That you need to spray down your equipment, and that has to stay wet for 30 seconds before you wipe it down.
Oh.
So that you take that in consideration when you're working out.
Yeah.
It's another 30 seconds and then wiping that down. With the wipes, these you have to keep wet for at least 15 seconds and then wipe it down.
Okay, so let me get this straight. We're now taking extra masks to the gym, and now we're taking wipes to the gym as well.
And then now these disinfectants are not they're hazardous to your health and to your skin. And it will even tell you, wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water after you come in contact with those elements.
So we're adding rubber gloves to the list as well.
Exactly. Or unless you want to keep running to the bathroom and washing your hands
in between you're
sets.
going to the machines. Okay. Well, let's get off that for a second. Let's talk about the air quality, because that's another thing that people are worried about is the AC systems inside gyms and where that air is coming from.
Right. And I know some gyms said that they are moving their cardio equipment outside. You have to take into consideration when you're exercising, you're expelling a lot of more respiratory droplets.
Sure.
And forcefully too, so that's going to be, you're going to be breathing in other people's exhaust. So
it's a good way to put it. Yeah.
So definitely the social distancing, but being outside will help break down those droplets, diffuse those droplets a lot more rapidly than if it was inside. That's why the air, it's very important to have some good ventilation. If you don't have a good ventilation, you're going to need some open windows and doors where there's cross ventilation going across the gym.
One thing that you also recommend is to bring 2 towels, one for each shoulder when you go into the gym.
Right. One for wiping down your sweat and then the other one for laying down on equipment. You don't want to sit on a bench or even lay down on a yoga mat without having your own towel. And I always say bring a towel so you know which side is up, because you don't want to be laying on the contaminated side.
Oh, there you go too. Okay. And the other thing, of course, don't even think about using the drinking fountains, right?
Right. So make sure you bring your own water and keep that close at hand. Keep an eye on it.
Karen, it sounds like this is something that people who go to gyms should be demanding of their gym before they decide to go back.
Right. You really need to take a look, because the risk will never be zero.
Yeah.
So you have to study up on what they're doing to keep things clean, making sure their staff is keeping things clean. They're also going to be policing if they're wearing masks, all of that. So it's kind of up to you, and you have to decide whether you want to take that risk. If you have any underlying conditions, definitely consider that.
A lot to think about, as usual, both inside the gym and outside as we start to get into phase 2. Karen, thanks a lot for that information, and continue to stay safe. All right, we'll see you soon.
Too. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back.